We live in a rapidly changing world, with disruptions arising from geopolitical tensions to technological advances. For businesses, change is inevitable and business transformation a necessity if they are to not only survive, but thrive. One key lever to how companies can achieve transformation is by retaining and reskilling talent through job redesign.
Talent is rapidly mobile. They can move anywhere and everywhere. We got to continue to think out of the box in terms of how we want to redesign our jobs to make sure that the top talent continues to want to work here. The fact that the entire economy is transforming, it behooves all companies to think about how they want to continue to energize their workforce.
And some have already taken action. In this new 4-part series, we meet various Singapore companies in different industries which have all embarked on job redesign in an effort to not only energize their workforce, but to seize new growth opportunities. In this episode, we meet 2 food services companies that are savouring the rewards of job redesign.
We empower them to do their own planning and make their own decision. At the end of the day, we want them to run this restaurant and make it great.
Job redesign is a definitely worthwhile journey. Not only the company benefit, the staff also benefited from it.
The food services sector in Singapore includes everything from the humble kopitiam to Michelin-starred restaurants. In 2022, it contributed 4.5 billion Singapore dollars to the economy and employed over 235,000 workers. While the industry has been evolving over the years, that evolution is accelerating.
The use of technology, the use of digital platforms, from the point of ordering to even the payment, I think customers now want a more seamless service experience. I think that's the way to go. The nudge to get employers, to get their F&B employees to up the ante in terms of tech adoption, digital adoption, I think will be here to stay. We cannot do business the way we've done 40, 50, 60 years ago. It's about moving along with the times. It's about also catering and being able to amplify and predict ahead of time what our consumers would want.
Consumers are looking for greater convenience. They are looking at healthier and increasingly more sustainable food options as well. That's why the sector is transforming to provide unique and diverse options for the consumers to kind of engage them a bit more. Then we also have the emergence of technology, right? Like online ordering as well as delivery platforms, as well as automated kitchen process has been commonplace now. And for companies to continue to be competitive, efficient, they have to think about embracing all this technology, digitalization, and therefore adapt how they actually operate as well.
But for food services companies to do all that, they must first win over their staff. But hiring and retaining talent is a perennial problem for F&B businesses.
The manpower challenge in the industry is not going away. The ability to compete for manpower is just as important as the ability to compete for business. Companies need to address the needs of diverse workforce, the ability to maintain service or to even excel in the provision of service. It really depends on how the job is being transformed. Employers have to think about how they can engage the individuals and provide them with meaningful careers to attract more of them to join the industry. So this is actually an opportunity for them to create new career opportunities so that more job seekers can consider joining the industry and building a career here.
That kind of job transformation is now happening in the food services sector. And Chong Chong Holdings is one company with an appetite for growth that has tasted success in the process. This is just one of the 27 kopitiams run by the company, which has gone from a modest economy rice stall to an F&B powerhouse in a matter of 3 decades.
Our focus has always been to provide them with affordable and hopefully delicious food choices. Chong Chong started from one mixed restaurant in Toa Payoh. Right now we have about 160, 170 stores all across the island with 1,200 staff. No business can stay still, that's for sure. We have been consistently transforming ourselves. From initially just having more and more stores to having subsequently the central procurement, central kitchen, and then now we even penetrate into the supermarkets, opening delis, and even operating hawker centers.
But even a successful company like Chong Chong has manpower issues. Young talent is tough to attract, and jobs are largely filled by mature workers. Workers who are greatly valued for their role in growing the company into what it is today.
We can't dispense with employees, regardless how old they have turned. If there is a wish for them to carry on to work, we need to find ways to allow them to carry on to work for as long as they wish. So it is now for me a focus of working more with the same group of people I have. I would like to retain them. I'd like to allow them to continue to make a dignified living.
To continually evolve the business in a way that allowed it to retain its most loyal workers and the wealth of experience they held, Chong Chong turned to technology.
A lot of the technology that we bring in are incremental, productivity-wise. They are very crucial in helping our employees be able to adapt. They need more tools to help them to carry out what used to be quite easy for them to do as a younger person. That's why during that transition, for them to get first acquainted with the technology and then subsequently be able to even embrace the technology, that needs some time. That's the reason why all the grants, the support that the government are giving us is very, very helpful for us to be able to help our employees to transit over to the so-called new technology era.
And so in 2019, Chong Chong made the move to tap on Workforce Singapore's career conversion program. They were hoping to redesign the jobs of more than 50 workers then. But it wasn't without its challenges. So how did that strategy work out for them? Food services companies face changing customer demands and manpower shortages. At the same time, rapid technological advances are disrupting the industry. Business transformation is essential when turning these challenges into opportunities.
All the hardware, make sure it's not intimidating. It should not be intimidating to them.
Chong Chong Holdings is one food services company that embarked on Job Redesign, or JR, in 2019 to do so. Head of Human Resources Stella Tan spearheaded the process with support from Workforce Singapore, or WSG.
Usually on the front line, it's quite tough to find people. There's really a manpower crunch, and that's why we think of some of the WSG initiatives who can help us to retrain our staff or job redesign to fill in some of the gaps. We got WSG staff coming to our office to have a meeting, understand what is our needs, and we have a lot of brainstorming session of which job roles is able to do job redesign.
For a start, all the traditional roles in the coffee shop, held by mostly mature workers, were elevated and redesigned to become ambassadors.
We call them the ambassador because overall they are also ambassador of Chong Chong to give better customer service. So this ambassador role empower them to feel that they are doing something great.
The ambassadors' roles had to be carefully enhanced to include higher value work. For some staff, it meant using the point of sale or POS system.
The cashier should go digital and should learn how to do the POS system to be more detailed. And when it's busy, the cashier can also double up as a coffee maker to make coffee as well. And also the cleaners, when they are cleaning, they also can be the runner to help to serve coffee to the customer.
but not every role could be redesigned.
There's some restrictions, like if let's say you get the cook, so he's frying things inside. So we want to redesign his role to do the cashiering is quite impossible. So we choose the kitchen assistant instead. So the kitchen assistant who performs the cashiering can also go into the kitchen to help to fry some simple thing, prepare some simple dishes in the kitchen and bring it up to the front. So that works better. So we do not want them to redesign their role whereby it is not convenient.
Besides deciding on the roles to redesign and how to go about it, Stella had to overcome the older staff's unfamiliarity and uncertainty with anything tech.
The more senior employees, when we approach them for this, definitely there are some resistance. They are very shy and they are worried that this program is going to be difficult and very challenging. So the initial response was no computer stuff, digital, they are worried.
It took Stella and her team the better part of 3 months to get everyone on board.
Definitely a lot of persuading, showing them our training plan, what we are going to go through, introducing the trainers. They say, hey, it's me. Hey, it's your colleague. Don't worry, you're not going to be somewhere else. You don't have to travel very far. You come to the HQ.
And yes, part of the strategy was to use in-house trainers whom the staff were familiar with.
So this video is a bit long. It will be better, right? If let's say we cut down the video rights down to the specific module, we have an internal training rather than outsource to an external trainer, because for our staff, they are very familiar with us and we are also very familiar with them. So when we train them, they are more open and easy to voice their concerns or difficulties with us. Initially, a lot of them will say, yeah, I already so old already, how much can I learn? Why should I learn? So we often encourage them. We need a patience with them. We need to explain to them that in order to have better skill sets to improve on their take-home earnings and so forth.
John also conducted ad hoc training on-site at the coffee shops.
Most of them are elderly, so they also have work to do. So we decided to use the OJT method to train them to minimize the impact on operations.
All in all, employees went through about 50 hours of training, including extensive courses on food hygiene. And to date, 51 roles have been redesigned into ambassadors. Chong Chong is just one among many food services companies undergoing job redesign. Oro Coffee and Bar is yet another company to redesign the roles of their service staff. They are now called service ambassadors.
Terminology is an important thing. The service ambassador point changes how they see themselves. When you see yourself differently, you see how you can impact the brand differently, it changes how you react and engage customers. We wanted to kind of challenge them to relook what they do and also give them a sense of pride in what they're doing.
Oro Coffee and Bar is part of the Commonwealth Concepts Group, where Brian Stamp is the Chief Operating Officer.
The Oro concept is a cafe by day and bar by night. So during the day, food is really more centric around a cafe-style offering. And then in the evenings, we switch to a bar-like vibe.
And Senior Assistant Manager Mohammad Saiful has been driving the job redesign process at Oro since 2022.
The F&B industry is competitive, so we need to stay ahead of curve by adapting and innovating new practices. In the day, the baristas will actually brew specialty coffee for our guests. But in the evening, that's where they turn into a bartender. So we require our team members at Oro to be able to serve great coffees, and also they are able to craft new cocktails for our customers.
Service Excellence awardee Husen Lim has been at Oro for 3 years. He was one of the first to embark on job redesign and underwent roughly 3 months of training.
We went for a lot of courses. Basically, all these I do not have any knowledge at all before I joined the company. Even coffee, they sent me for coffee courses, how to use a coffee machine, how to wash a coffee machine, how does a coffee supposed to taste like. All my barista skills are learned in Oreo itself. Also, the courses actually helped me knowledge-wise in not only spirits but wines. So after JR, we get to hands-on, create our own cocktails, and also put the cocktails or even the coffee on the menu is like a product of ourselves. So we are actually all proud of ourselves to have our own cocktails on the menu.
The service ambassadors have also been trained to work with new systems introduced to improve customer service.
Before the JR, our team members would take the order manually. So it requires a lot of manpower and a lot of operation constraint. So with this JR, we introduced new initiative. Typically, when a customer comes to the restaurant, the staff will actually usher the customers to the table and they can actually scan their QR code and they can take their time to order. So this period, the staff could actually take time to do other things, for example, engaging the customers or creating new drinks or, creating new experiences for our guests.
But this transition didn't come without some initial hesitation.
When we first introduced JR, all of them are worried whether the job will be replaced, what's going to happen next. I think they fear to come out from their comfort zone because they are so used to their usual routine. But we manage their expectation. We speak to them. Firstly, we understand what's their worry, and then we just work together with them to assure them that we are here together. And most importantly, we got the support from the top management. And I think together as a team, we managed to overcome this obstacle.
Allowing me the space, I'm bold decision maker. So
Another major challenge for Saiful was coming up with training schedules that fitted into work schedules.
I think to pull them out at one round is quite difficult because of the scheduling, and we do not want to disrupt the operation. So we have to think creatively. So we conduct bite-sized training and they can absorb it better. And we also assist follow-up with the training to understand or to check how they progress at work.
We know what Chong Chong and Oreo did as part of their job redesign. Next, find out how their efforts turned out. Food services companies across Singapore have embraced job redesign and seen their efforts pay off. Oro Coffee and Bar, for example, has seen gains in staff performance and satisfaction. Some, like newly promoted restaurant manager Jayanthan Vasudevan, are feeling more empowered at work.
Before this, we focused more on the typical old school F&B, so where we take orders manually, we clean the orders, drinks, serve them. After, I would say, is we learn more in depth on analyzing data. Now what we do is, on a weekly basis, we see the trends of what is selling, what is not, the customer trends, on which days we are busy, peak and non-peak period. After JR, the management has more trust. They give us more empowerment. So now what we do is we take more ownership by ourselves. We propose promotions. Hey, can we do this? Can we do that? How can we generate the traffic? How can we bring in more revenue? So we have more say on that. Yeah.
We empower them to do their own planning and make their own decision. At the end of the day, we want them to run this restaurant and make it great. They can see that through all this leadership training and coaching training, it helped them to build as a person, become a better leader. For example, Jay, he is empowered and you can see that he takes charge to run this restaurant with great people and his team grow together with him. And I think it is very nice to see, that we have grown our people, and in our company, progress is one of our values and we are very happy to see that.
While Oro Coffee and Bar expects more great things to happen as it continues its job redesign journey, the management team is excited with the results so far.
In the F&B industry, we're always rushing to survive on a day-by-day basis, and having a framework to step back to and then trying to craft what are the things that we want to do, whether we want to increase productivity, digitize ourselves, and then improve the customer journey. It allows us to plan, look at what resources we need, what trainings we need, and then roll out a complete program. I think that holistic look at it enabled us to kind of achieve what we wanted.
Over at Chong Chong, Job Redesign has allowed the company to tap on insights from data analysis.
Now that the cost system is more defined, we will teach them to be more detailed, and then it does help us with our inventory, the big data. In the past, the cashier, whatever they order, they will key in the same thing. Coffee is still coffee, kosong is still coffee. So if, let's say, the things are key in order, we get to know when to top up the coffee, or if the tea is selling faster, so they can top the order accordingly and in time. So with the cost system and training the staff to be more detailed, help us a lot.
The staff have also benefited in more ways than one.
After the job redesign, the staff actually learn more things. After they have taken on more roles, their remuneration is also better. We have adjusted their salary package to match what they are doing right now. Job redesign is a definitely worthwhile journey. And most important, not only the company benefit, the staff also benefited from it.
For us, staying still is not an option. We need to keep progressing. And to progress, we need to bring along our employees working hand in hand together. It's not just about the top management having a strategic vision and then pushing for it to happen. It must be a team effort all the way down to the last individual.
Because that's where you want the competition.
In Singapore, many local companies are reaping the rewards of job redesign. In our final episode, find out how businesses are redefining the roles of their professional services staff to stay ahead of the curve.